Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Warrior Code International. I'm at PCHAI. I just trained for about 2.5 hours. We had a jiu-jitsu session. We also had an MMA session. Very, very hard work. I cannot even put into words how much work we've put today in this gym. But anyways, I know you don't care about me. You want to see the video, and the video is about Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, about their interaction backstage 2 days ago.
Good job tonight. Ready to go?
No, I'm on armor.
Oh, he's not going to fight me. He's good. He's a champion. Don't worry. What's wrong? Whoa.
Come on, relax, boys.
What dude, that's just childish. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Look at me. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Your friend just won double in this victory. Hi man, congratulations.
I asked my coach and a couple of teammates what they think about this situation. They're going to share their opinions. Make sure to watch. My personal opinion is that Ian Garry was the one who started the whole thing. But anyways, watch the video. Visit PCHAI because it's a phenomenal gym here in Thailand, in Phuket, and follow Warrior Code International because your support means the world. We hit the 1,000 subscribers, but now we're gonna have new goals, new challenges. I need your support. I appreciate your support. Warrior Code International, let's go. Bam. Coach, you are the MMA coach here, also the wrestling coach. You know a lot about fighting, but tell me, yesterday, Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, they had that interaction backstage, and Ian Garry made it look as if Chimaev was the bad guy. But what is your personal opinion?
He's doing what he's doing. He's selling a fight. He's getting people talking about him. That's what he's good at, and it brings eyes to him, and so it's good. So that's why he did what he did.
But who started the thing? Whose fault was it?
I mean, Ian Garry's. He kicked it off. That's what he wanted. You know, he wanted a reaction out of Chimaev, and he got it.
Yeah. So it wasn't Chimaev that actually started the whole thing.
No, definitely. I wouldn't say that. I would say Ian Garry went over there, had a laugh, kind of had to get him going, riled him up, gave him a couple of slaps on the back. And if somebody slaps you on the back and you don't really know the guy, he's kind of just somebody you know of. You know, he's just looking to get a reaction out of Chimaev, and that's what he got.
But what is your opinion? A potential matchup between Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, although they're now in different divisions. How would that fight go?
Chimaev smashes him. It's like simple. That I think everybody knows that. I think Ian Garry knows that, and he's just looking to get a reaction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but if Ian Garry were to fight against Islam Makhachev for the welterweight title, what is your opinion? How would that fight go?
Islam smashes him. Simple.
Okay, but Ian Garry was stuffing Bilal Muhammad's takedowns.
He did. He did a really good job against Bilal. But I think Islam smashes him.
Okay, but tell me, you've trained with Bilal Muhammad, and what is the reason that man reached such a high level? What made him special?
Bilal is, I've trained in Bilal with the room in Bilal quite a bit, but Bilal is best thing, right? The way he trains is exactly the way he fights, right? And not too many people can do that. Like when Bilal drills, it looks the same as when he fights. And some people, they drill, when they're drilling, they're able to do things, they feel more loose, they're a lot more free, you know, compared to when they fight. But when Bilal drills, it looks, you could watch a Bilal fight, Bilal drilling, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Now, you as a coach, for example, I train here MMA. I'm training with some very high-level guys, but you give attention to every single one of us, and I truly appreciate that. But you put a lot of emphasis on pressure. Why is pressure so important? Why is it important to put pressure on your opponent?
Right now we're going through pressure because we got some guys coming up with fights, and that's where I want them to go with their game plan. But pressure in MMA is really, really important because most people in MMA are not good at fighting backwards, right? You see in boxing, people are able to move and dance around and fight going backwards. But in MMA, the average MMA fighter, like basically across the board, even at the highest level, right? People are not good at fighting going backwards yet. They will be, but they have to practice it, right? So I want our fighters here, I want them to be good at pressuring going forward because people are bad at going backwards. So if we get people going backwards, they fuck up, they put their feet together, they cross their feet, whether you want to take them down or just strike, right? That's going to happen, right? But you see at the highest level, like fighters who are good at going backwards, you have Sean O'Malley, You had McGregor was really good at it. Stephen Thompson's really good at it. Anderson Silva was pretty good at it. Adesanya is good at it. But other than that, right, it's hard to find too many good fighters that are good at going backwards, fighting going backwards. So we got to take advantage of that while we can and pressure, put people on their back foot so they feel uncomfortable.
Okay, but my question for you is, and I know you're a busy man, but just a couple of more questions. I personally really struggle when I'm fighting backwards, and when the other person is throwing a flurry of punches. I've got that bad habit of kickboxing and boxing where I put my hands up here, but that guard doesn't exist in MMA. So could you tell me what is the best thing to do when you're walking backwards and he's throwing a flurry of punches?
Just stay in a good position and step back, right? Like, it sounds simple, but it has to be practice, it has to be drill, right? Like, people, you'll see it in fights, like, coaches will tell an athlete, like, in the corner, right? The coaches will tell an athlete, like, hey, go backwards, create space, but they've never trained these things to do it, right? And it's like, you think people know how to fight going backwards. 90% of MMA doesn't even know how to move going backwards, so how can they throw a punch going backwards, you know? Right? When you move backwards, you have to stay in good position, not put your feet together, not cross your feet. Right? That's just like the basic, right? But be good at that, and then everything else will start to take care of itself.
But what is your defense? When he's throwing a flurry of punches, do you cover up like this? Do you have head movement?
Right, that doesn't really matter as long as if I'm pushing, staying in good position and stepping back with my feet. My hands could be here, my hands could be here, right? Sometimes my hands are here. When I go backwards, if I'm looking to create space, most likely my hands would be out a little bit, at least my lead hand.
Yeah, and to be a good counter puncher, for example, like McGregor and Adesanya, especially McGregor.
Watch when they step back. Watch when Conor steps back. When Conor steps back, he doesn't do this when he goes backwards. He steps back in good position, and then he finds his counter. Sean O'Malley does it laterally, moves left, moves right, and then finds his counter, right? Like Adesanya does very similar to Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley probably took a little bit from Adesanya. He moves left and right really well. So he can go backwards, and it's not just straight line backwards, it's backwards, left, right, counter.
What would you say, last question for you, as a person who's been in the cage 13 times as a professional? You've got 13 professional fights. You're a coach, you know a lot about fighting, also wrestling background. Tell me, what does it take to actually break at the highest level? What do you need in terms of skill and character to get to the level of Bilal and all these guys?
It's your mindset. It's pretty simple, right? Like it sounds simple, but it is very, very difficult, right? But it's your mindset, right? It's coming in every day, training, eating right, sleeping right, doing it again. Training, eating right, sleeping right, doing it again, over a long period of time, right? So you can do all that. Some people can do it for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, get ready for a fight, and then they fall off, right? And that's good. Maybe win a fight here and there. But then when you try to go up a level, if you got a guy who's doing it day in, day out, month after month, year after year, that over time, it makes a big difference, right? You see Bilal, right? Like, it's no secret, like Bilal's probably not the most athletic person in the world, but I can tell you from firsthand seeing somebody, he's in the gym all day, every day. He goes from one gym to the next gym to the next gym. Sleeps, takes a break, does it again. Every day, day in, day out. And that's where you get your step by step, day by day, and you build grounds and you build levels on people.
So it's hard work, dedication, full devotion to the game. I want to thank you very much for the time, and I wish you all the best as a fighter, as a coach, and also with PCHAI.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Sam, you are about to become a professional MMA fighter. Now you're a semi-professional. You're very technical, very ambitious, very skilled. But tell me, yesterday, Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, they had an interaction backstage. Ian Garry basically made it look as if it was Chimaev's fault. But in your opinion, who started this and whose fault who was to blame for this interaction?
Yeah, I think personally it's Ian Garry's fault because you shouldn't approach a guy by stepping on the back as hard as he did, especially if you don't know the guy. So I think it's a stupid thing to do from Ian Garry, and that's why I love fighting. That's why I love the fight game, because you can disrespect the person after you get in the cage and fight, you know. So it's an exciting fight for sure.
But how important are such interactions for the creation of hype, for building up a fight?
I think it's the most interesting to watch a fight when there's like a kind of like a good guy and a bad guy scenario. That's why some sports like Glory or whatever are a bit on their downfall. In UFC, they do it very well. Like they try to match up guys that don't like each other, so the public get more interested. And I think this is what made the sport.
But what is your opinion? Ian Garry, he just beat Bilal Muhammad with a decision, unanimous decision. Now he's talking about Islam Makhachev. How big are Ian Garry's chances against Islam Makhachev?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I think Chimaev just above, like a level above everyone. So I think he's gonna win. But Ian Garry can be a pretty tough opponent on the feet.
Yeah. But my point is because Khamzat Chimaev is the middleweight champion. Islam Makhachev is now the welterweight champion. Ian Garry is in the welterweight division. What is your opinion? Let's say we put Ian Garry and Islam Makhachev one against the other. What will happen in such a fight? What do you expect?
I don't know. I think probably Chimaev has to go a weight class down to make it a little bit more even, you know. And I think he's gonna dominate the wrestling all the time.
Okay, tell me about yourself. Now you're a semi-professional fighter. I see you training every day. You train almost every day you train 3 times a day. What are the goals and what do you want to achieve in this game?
I think I only work with daily goals. So I see, I put on my daily goals and then I see where it brings me. But I think like for sure next year go professional and then let's see what offers they come.
Okay, and when next year? Is it in the beginning of the year? Is it in the middle, in the end of the year?
Summer. By summer next year for sure. I go.
And you will compete in Thailand?
Everywhere. I just want to fight all over the world, make money, and let's see where's the most money, you know.
Okay.
There I go.
And tell me about your training process because I know you wake up early in the morning, you go for a run, then you do the MMA, then in the evening. What do you train in the evening?
The wrestling and strength and conditioning.
Okay.
So in the morning, like run, then jiu-jitsu and MMA, and then wrestling or strength and conditioning.
But how does your body recover because you train really a lot?
Yeah, I sleep a lot and I try to get the right nutrition. That's why it's good to live in Thailand because it's easy to get everywhere, you know.
And also one of your best friends and actually a roommate of yours is Ismail Nazar. He's about to fight now at Glory Kickboxing on the 13th of December. Tell me, as a person who is very close to Ismail, in what shape is Ismail Nazar at the moment?
I think like he's in the best shape ever of his life. So if I was his opponent, I would just cancel the fight, you know, because it's going to be a knockout. I think in first, if not first, second round. Like I can see him like change daily. His body is like starting to get like more muscular. All the fat is going away, and he's just like machine, you know.
Yeah. And could you tell me, for the people who've never met Ismail Nazar, what kind of person is he in his personal life?
Like a very kind person, very intelligent person. But don't let it fool you because, you know, when the beast comes out, the beast comes out.
Okay. Last question for you. Imagine that the people who are watching this video, that they follow your journey and 1 year from now, they check you. You know, they want to check what Sam is doing. Where will you be 1 year from now?
Yeah, 1 year, like I will be professional, probably have like 2 fights in professional. And I think the best way is just follow me, you know. Just follow me, see the process and get motivated by watching me and then go do it yourself.
Where can we follow you?
Sam van Mengsel on Instagram. That's my main page, and yeah, I hope to see you there.
Yeah. Guys, you heard it. Follow him. A big talent, very ambitious, very hungry, like a beast. If he wrestles with you, he's not gonna let you go. I'm telling you that. Anyways, thank you, brother, for the time, and all the best.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Frank, you are an amateur MMA fighter. You come from the United States. You're a very good grappler, but also technical striker. But I want to ask you, yesterday, Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, they had that interaction backstage. And Ian Garry tried to sell that basically Chimaev was the aggressor, that Chimaev started it. But many people disagree with that. What is your opinion? Who was actually the aggressor in that situation?
I think maybe both, you know, had a little bit to play with it, which is good. I think, you know, something about the sport, storylines, that's what people like drive to and like make, you know, want to watch fights and stuff. And like animosity in the UFC is awesome. You know, there's like a bunch of examples of that, you know, like John Jones, DC, Conor McGregor, Khabib. I think they both wanted that moment so they can maybe in the future, you know, Ian Garry becomes champ, Khamzat's champ, and then that's like a super mega fight. You know, both of them make, you know, a good amount of cash, and it'll be like a super dope big fight. I think both of them wanted that moment.
Actually, that's a very, very good point. I never thought about it, but if Ian Garry becomes champion at welterweight and Khamzat is champion at middleweight,
Yeah.
Khamzat could potentially go down and try to become double champion, or Ian Garry could go up and try to be a double champion. So that's a very interesting point. But could you tell me, Ian Garry, he was basically, no, excuse me, Khamzat Chimaev, the way he was speaking after that, he was discussing the situation with his friends, and he said, Ian Garry is trying to be Conor McGregor, but he can never be Conor McGregor. What would you say? Does Ian Garry try hard to be like Conor McGregor?
I think a lot of people in the UFC probably do. It's a good path. You know, Conor's been so successful. No one can ever be like Conor. But yeah, I think he does. You know, and then they're both like kind of from the same place, so I'm pretty sure that's like his like role model, right? So I think Ian does try to be like him a little bit, like with his own flair. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. You know.
Yeah, because that's a model which has proven to work,
Yeah,
to be
100%,
successful. But what would you say, Ian Garry against Islam Makhachev? How does such a fight play out?
Man, you know, Makhachev looked so big against JDM. He's really strong at welterweight. Ian's a really, really big 170er himself. Interesting. It's interesting stuff. Can he do that? Can Makhachev do that to
Ian Garry?
To Ian Garry? I don't know, but I don't. Makachev's really strong at that weight. Possibly. It would be a good fight to watch. I think Makhachev can probably do it to him too.
Yeah.
He just looked. He almost looks like a middleweight. Like it's crazy how big and strong he is now.
But could you explain to me a person like Islam Makhachev? So the way he takes people down, it seems as if a father is playing with his son, and he's actually fighting against the highest level fighters in the world. Why? How is it possible that the difference between Khamzat and his opponents is so big when it comes? No, Khamzat, excuse me. How is it possible that the difference between Islam and his opponents is so big when it comes to wrestling?
Man, I think, you know, just like the years of grappling, you know, Islam has been doing it since, you know, he was like a very, very young kid. And, you know, you grow up in that, you know, like grappling, like I don't know, just like grapplers that start from very young are just crazy strong. I can even compare a little bit of that with like me. I'm transitioning to MMA, but I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was like 16, and I'm kind of just like, when it gets to the ground with my, you know, amateur peers, I kind of just like play around with them. With Islam, that must be like, you know, times 10, you know, all the experience, all the grappling experience he has. So I think it's just that experience of just grappling, you know, that mat time over, you know, 20, maybe for him it's like almost like as old as he is, year span. Like you're just like untouchable when it comes to like the grappling, and then if he gets anyone on his back, they're screwed. Yeah.
But what would you say in the United States, where you come from, you are known for your wrestling. But at the moment, when you look at the best UFC fighters and the champions, almost all of them come from Georgia or from Russia, Dagestan, Chechnya. So why is wrestling in Russia way more successful at the moment than wrestling in America when it comes to MMA?
Yeah, I think because it's like a different type of wrestling, what they do in Russia and Georgia and stuff. It's catered more into MMA, like holding people down. What we do in America is like folk style, freestyle, and it's more like, you know, what you see like in the Olympics, like you know, the pins and like, you know, all the like fancy takedowns and stuff. Like the wrestling's different, especially like, you know, the Dagestani guys, because you know they got like that sambo background. So everything's about like, as soon as you get someone on their back, like holding them down. Yeah, and then they have a little bit of that, you know, that sambo experience. So you know they got a little bit of like, you know, that submission experience, and like, you know, they you know, strike and stuff. So that's why I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how could people in the United States or in Europe or in Asia, how could we beat the Dagestani guys or the Chechnya guys when it comes to wrestling?
From my experience, you know, like fighting in Bangalore, because I fight those guys like all the time. Like they might be a little bit more technical than me, maybe more experienced, but I bring it to them. I mix in, you know, the you know, shooting singles, doubles. I make them grapple, and then I believe, you know, they're not like used to that. People just want to like avoid that with them, but you know, do it with them, and I feel like that makes them tired because like they don't expect it, and they're just like, oh, like they get like kind of like overwhelmed. Even if like you're not as sharp as they are, like them, like, you know, you making them like do it gets them tired. Yeah.
So basically, you have to challenge them in their own discipline.
Yeah.
You have to surprise them.
I believe so. Yeah.
Because they don't expect you to try to wrestle with them. Try to wrestle with them.
Yeah.
Make them tired.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, Frank, you are an amateur fighter. I know you want to be a professional fighter. Tell me, let's say I meet you 1 year from now. Where will you be 1 year from now in your career?
1 year from now, just simply, I just want to make my pro debut, and you know, if God wants that path for me, you know, win, and be successful. Yeah, simple as that.
And you train at PCHAI.
Yeah.
I also train here. Tell me about this gym. What kind of gym is PCHAI?
Oh man, you know, like when I got here, I went around like all kinds of gyms, and this is, I feel like this is the place to be. You get really good centralized coaching with Colt. You know, the great SNC work with Will. Yeah, it's awesome. I feel like, you know, every day we're getting ready for something like really, really big. Even me, like just like, you know, amateur fighter fighting like, you know, in Bangla. You know, they really lock in to each individual person and like, you know, focus in an aspect with them and like really try to get them better.
Yeah.
They really care here. It's awesome to be a part of. Yeah.
I can absolutely confirm what you're saying because I'm actually a journalist, as you know.
Yeah.
But even being a journalist, I get plenty of attention. Colt is trying to correct me when I do something wrong. He's explaining carefully, even to me. So even if you're a beginner, they still give a lot of attention. So I truly appreciate that when it comes to PCHAI. Frank, thank you very much for the time. All the best with your career, brother, and I hope to see you at the highest level in the world.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks.
We'll